and then some slow swings, and learn to hit the center. Hey golfers, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the most destructive shot that you can hit out on the golf course. Statistically, every time this shot happens, it'll add 2 strokes to the hole. So 1 time, that's going to be a double. 2 times, that's a quad, and now we're out of it. And the problem with this particular shot is it typically does follow itself up one after the other because it gets into the head. So we're going to look at what that shot is, and also I got 2 nice simple drills for you to help you fix it if you are struggling with this shot. So before we get started, as always, if you could, please don't forget to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and let me know in the comments where you're watching from, as it really helps me grow the channel, and I appreciate everybody's support so far. So let's get going. So the shot we're going to look at today is, of course, the shank. Now, some of you might say I don't shank the ball, but if there's a tendency in maybe 5 or 6 rounds and you get the odd one, there's a good chance that you're half an inch away from this becoming a problem. So you might want to get on top of that as quick as possible. Let's first of all look at what the shank is. Well, when we're coming into the golf ball and we hit this portion of the golf club, it hits, it's called a hosel, hits this and shoots off violently to the right. The other one that you sometimes see from extreme cases of the shanks is when the ball and club actually meet, but we hit on this backside here, okay? And this one would usually be when the club goes out and the ball kind of is like a top shot to the left. So if you've seen a couple of those, or you get the odd one, particularly maybe with wedges or shorter clubs, then this video is really going to help you. So let's look at what causes the shank first and foremost. So on our golf club, we have the sweet spot, the center of the club face. And this is typically where we're going to start. I'll get into that in more detail in a second, because some people try and start on the toe to fix this, and that's a disaster. Once we understand what causes it, you'll realize why. So ball starts in the middle. We make our backswing, and that sweet spot will move further away from our body. So we've made our backswing. We're coming into the downswing. And as we do this, the sweet spot has finished or arrived further away than when it started. That, in essence, is what causes this. Now, there's numerous technical things that can go into this, but I often find when I'm teaching people who have the shanks, you don't get the same amount of results as whenever we focus on some drills to fix it and reverse that tendency for the sweet spot to move away and actually encourage it to come more in. Because if your miss is on the toe side, I was fortunate enough when I was playing that my miss would always have been on the toe side, and it allowed me to play some pretty decent golf. I never really had to worry about this edge here, and I can only imagine, as I see on the lesson tee, how frustrating. And once it happens once, it's usually in the head then, and it follows up with some more, and it's like, what am I doing? Okay, so we're going to look at a drill. First of all, I want to talk about some things you do not want to do when trying to fix the shanks. So we know that the shank is caused by the sweet spot moving further away from our body in the downswing. Now, here is something I see very often, which we do not want to do, and it makes perfect sense, in all honesty, to try this, but it actually will have a negative impact on what's happening. So we start the ball on the toe. I see that a lot, because obviously we're hitting here, and it would make sense to try and get yourself as far away from that as possible. But in reality, remember, the sweet spot moving away, as soon as you set up with the ball on the toe and think, right, that'll help me because I'll not hit the heel from here, psychologically, your brain is now being encouraged into moving the sweet spot further away, because it looks down and goes, right, I'm on the toe now. To hit the middle, I have to go out more. And this just encourages the problem that you have. So starting on the toe, swinging out to hit the center. So definitely do not want to do that. In fact, one of the drills that we're going to talk about is how to start it on the heel and learn to hit the middle, because obviously that is going to reverse the tendency of the sweet spot moving out and encourage it to move more to the inside. Okay, so let's take a look at a way that you can test and see if you are a heel strike player or a toe strike player. If you're a toe strike player, you don't have to watch this video. You can go and check out some of my other ones. and like and subscribe also. But we're going to see if you're a heel strike player and is this drill and these drills going to be relative for you. So let's look at a way that we can test our strike to make sure that these drills I'm about to show you are relative to you. Okay, so we're going to hit 5 shots with this, and what you do is you can use likes of athlete's foot spray, the powdered version, or dry shampoo, and what you do is you spray the face, and then when you hit the ball it'll leave an imprint. But I really like just a dry erase or a whiteboard marker, and what you do is just draw a circle on the golf ball like this, and we'll place that on the ground where we're going to contact the golf ball like so, and then we'll make a swing. Now I'll do one, and hopefully I hit the middle. A bit under pressure now. I can always do another take if I have to, but we're going to hit a shot, and you're going to do this 5 to 10 times and test where your patterns and where you imprint the face on a regular basis. And if you do struggle with a shank, you'll see the mark right on the hosel. So let's hit this one. Bit of pressure. Yeah, told you I was missing on the toe side is my tendency. So there you can see I've left an imprint. Now if I repeated that 5 times, I could see that, and I've done this before, mine will be kind of middle to toe, and as I said, that's a far safer way because statistically we lose 0.5 of a shot per hole when we hit it out on the toe versus the 2 shots lost out on the hosel. Okay, so run through that, test your strike. Even if you don't take on board the shank drills I'm about to show you, then do that because it'll really help you. And you can also play around with, like I would do, I know I toe it, so I experiment with drawing on the ball and trying to move my strike over, and some variability practice on that. It's really good way to improve your strike also. I'll do a video more on that in future. So let's take a look at the drills that's going to get us out of this rut where we get those couple of shanks around, or worse, continually shank the golf ball. Okay, so 2 drills I'm about to show you. Number 1's probably my favorite for the shanks. What we're going to need is an alignment stick, and we're going to set our club. Remember, ball in the middle when we're fixing this. And what we're going to do is take our alignment stick, and you have to be very precise with this. Place the stick right on the toe and the stick at your target. So you can see that if I swing down and have any amount of club or sweet spot moving away, I will hit the stick. And don't worry, it'll not do any damage to your clubs or yourself. So when we do this, the feeling is going to be, right, sometimes I'll get people to do this and they'll set the ball, they'll hit one and that's perfect, and they pull another one in and it's right here. We don't want that because there is still scope for that club to move away, hit the hosel and miss the stick. So be really, every shot you hit, be very conscious of making sure that the toe is literally resting next to the stick. Okay, now as I hit a shot here, my goal is purely to miss the stick. I'm just going to hit some soft shots first, miss the stick, and then I've got that feedback in sound and feel that I did not contact the stick. You can have the marker on the club face as well just to check, but certainly if you can do this and repeat, start slow, keep building it up until you're very confident you're not hitting that stick. It's a really simple drill, and that is literally all there is to it on that drill to fix this problem. You'll know when you set the ball up, because I'm making it tough for you, we're putting the toe right next to the stick, so even if you move to anywhere, not even near the hosel, but into this vicinity, which we know we don't want because we're half an inch away from disaster, if we even do that, we will touch that stick. So really super drill, very easy to set up. Okay, so let's take a look at the other drill. A little bit more difficult, but very effective. So this drill we're going to do, if you remember, I talked about what a lot of people try and do when they're fixing the heel strike is start with the ball on the toe, and that just encourages the problem. So this drill we're actually going to do is we're going to start on the hosel here and then take your normal setup. Now in order to strike this ball, you're going to have to swing in such a way that the sweet spot moves towards the body in order to hit the center. Okay, so Visually, it's very good because you start on the hosel and think, right, well, I don't want to come down there, and I sure don't want to go out because I'll actually miss the ball. So as I swing down, I need to actually have the sweet spot closer to my body when I come down. So what we're going to do is start on the heel and then some slow swings and learn to hit the center. That way. Okay, so it's going to reverse that tendency. I can really feel as I do that in the downswing, the club is moving closer to me rather than the shank going out. So here, start on the heel, take your normal setup, swing down, and miss the hosel. So really good drill. Two quite simple ones in reality, and what I would do, as I said before, big fan of practice. If you have this issue, or even as you've tested your strike and you see a little bit of a heel bias tendency, then you're going to want to do either both of these or one of these drills. Go to the range. Say you're hitting 60 golf balls, well, do 30-30. Do 30 with the stick and then 30 with the sweet spot. Now, what's really important when you're doing this as well, start out with 30-30, because if it's a serious issue, then you got to do a lot of reps at it. But what I would also do is, say you're doing the heel drill, start, swing down, strike, then maybe do 5 of those, and if you feel like you've been successful at it, then go back to normal. So get the ball then back in line with the center and try and get the same sensation you just had from the drill, or use the stick for 5 shots, miss the stick for 5 shots, then pull 1 or 2 balls across and actually try and do it without the stick. And over time, as you continue to repeat that process, then it's going to fix itself, and that sweet spot won't move out but tend to move more in, but ultimately back to where it belongs, in the center. Okay guys, so let me know in the comments if you have any questions about it, as always. And I got some good comments of future videos to make with some struggles that you guys are having, and I haven't ignored you. I do have them listed out and I am going to get to them. So if there's a video you would like made, or a struggle that you're having in your golf swing, please drop it into the comments. I'll add it to the list and I'll get one made up, and it could help somebody else as well, because again, in golf we don't just have, I have issues in my swing. I'm not the only one in the world with them. So if something can help me, it could help somebody else as well. Okay guys, so please, before we go, if you don't mind, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. As I said in the start, really supports the channel, and I appreciate each and every one of you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.